it's Mr. Evans, and this is the tutorial video for making the paperclip project or paperclip design. We're going to get started, but first, as I look at my canvas, the last time I was working on the rectangular ice cube tray, and my canvas just looks weird. It has this blue background. It's okay, but I kind of am used to working with the white background, so I want to go ahead and change that for you just in case you forgot how to do that. So it's down here in the navigation bar. It is under, let me try that again, display settings, there it is, and then it's under environment, and then it says River Rubicon. I'm going to change it to photo booth. It's just kind of an easier view, especially we're going to be changing some colors. I'm making very thin lines, and it's going to be hard to see some of them with the darker background. So we're going to start with this right here, and of course our first step will be to click Save, and I'm just going to name this Paperclip. And I need to create a folder in my Learning Fusion 360 project folder. If you didn't already, it's called Paperclips. And for this first paperclip, I'm just going to call this Paperclip 1. I'll throw my initials in there just to give it some ownership for me. And like I said, create a paperclip folder if you didn't create one. I've already showed you that in previous videos, so I'll skip over those procedures, click Save, and I'm ready to get started. Of course, the first step, as we've always done with these builds, is to create a new component. So create a new component, and in this case, our component's going to simply be called Paperclip. Click Enter or click OK, and you can see that my component is right over here. And I can see that I have no folders yet. I haven't created anything. We are going to add names to the browser today, and it's going to be part of the grade for this project or design. To get started, I'm going to take a look at my notes. You want to have those in front of you. If you don't, get those in front of you. If you haven't completed the notes yet, go ahead and take a moment to pause this video and bring up the notes video and get those done first. So first step is going to be to create a sketch of some lines, and we're going to do that on the XY plane. So I'm going to click the L key, which starts the sketch tool, but I have to pick where I'm going to draw, and we're going to pick on the XY plane right here. I'm going to drag my origin down a little bit because I know I'm drawing a line up. I might have to zoom in as well. We'll see how it goes. So placing the first point, I'm going to go ahead and place it on the origin just like it says in my notes, and I'm going to then mouse up. Now this is important. This is the part where people get confused. When you're drawing a line, you're not click dragging, you're just mousing up. And when I mouse up, I want to make sure a couple things are happening. Number one, that I'm at 90 degrees from my origin. And number two, I want to take a look at those numbers that are kind of going up and down on the left side there. I'm actually going to type an amount in for this one. So I'm going to type in my dimension. And the dimension I'm going to type for here, I'm going to look at my picture in my notes, and this one is going to be 108. Now, like I said, people get confused on this. Now watch what happens when I move side to side. It stays 108. I didn't even hit return yet, by the way. I just typed 108. But then my angle still turns. Now I could tab over to my angle and type in 90, or I can just make sure I move my mouse till it says 90. Now notice, it doesn't matter where I put my mouse, way down here at the bottom of the line, or even way here at the top of the line. As long as I typed in that 90, it's going to stay at 90. So I'm just going to click right here in the middle of the line, just so you can see. Boom. And there it goes. My point is placed, and now my line tool is still active. So I didn't hit return yet, I didn't hit escape, that's why it's still active. So I just clicked. Now I can do my next line. And again, this might take a little bit of getting used to. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit so you can see that top dimension. So again, I want to be at 90 degrees, so take your time. 90 degrees, we're going to type in 30. Again, don't hit the tab key, don't hit enter, don't do anything except move your mouse and just place that somewhere. Look at how far over, I can put my mouse all the way over here. And as long as I just click, it'll place that line right where I need it because I already have that 30 in there. Click, and there we go. Notice my line tool is still active, which is what we need. We're going to come down. I'm going to pan down a little bit. We're going to go all the way to 141. And again, I want to make sure my line is 90 degrees, and I'm going to click. I'm going to start to speed up a little bit. Now that you know how this works, I'm going to speed up a little bit. So moving over, I'm going to put in 26.1. Make sure I'm at 90 degrees. Click. I'm going to go up 114. Again, make sure I'm at 90 degrees. Click. I'm going to go over. Now be careful. See this little green circle with the check mark in it? When you click on that, that means you're done using the line tool, and we're not going to be done yet, so I'm not going to click that. I still want to do some more dimensions. So this next one's going to be 22.2. Being careful not to click where this is. I'm going to move my mouse somewhere else. Right about there is good. Click. And then I'm going to come back down. Now I'm going to end up going back down to this axis right here. This is my x-axis, I believe. But I'm going to go ahead and type in 81 though. I don't want to go right to the axis. I actually want to type in 81 to make sure it's exactly that dimension. And again, click, and now I'm done. So I can come over here and click the check mark, or I can hit the escape key. Let's see if the enter key works. No, I think the enter key is going to actually put in that dimension that I have there, so that's not good. So let's either hit the escape key or click the check box circle there. All right, and notice my line tool is ready to be used again, but it's not actively working right now. So I can hit the escape key and my line tool will turn off. So that is step one, drawing all those lines, and it does say hit the escape key when you're done. If you wanted to, by the way, you can adjust some of these dimensions. They are kind of overlapping each other. You can just click on the numbers as long as you don't have a tool active, and we can kind of move those out of the way if we want. It's not super important that we do that. It's just, you know, if you wanted a certain view, you could kind of modify it a little bit there. We have one way up here too. Maybe I'll pull that one down so it's a little closer, and that way I don't have to zoom so far out. So there we go. We drew our lines. If you're a little confused, like it doesn't look like you can see the paperclip very well, I understand. What you could do is come over here to your sketch palette, and you could actually turn off the dimensions and the constraints, and that should look more like your sketch in your notes, okay? You don't want to keep those off all the time though. Those are good to have on. So we're going to put those back in because we're about to add some constraints and we want to see those dimensions in there as well. All right, next step, we are on I think that's step 3 now. So we're going to do what's called a sketch fillet. And we're going to start up here at the top. And I'm going to zoom in on this area a little bit. You don't necessarily have to zoom in to do this. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So sketch fillet is right here. It's under or above the modify menu, I should say. It's also in there, right there. And what you want to do is activate sketch fillet by clicking it. You cannot use the F shortcut key for this one. This is a sketch fillet, not a solid fillet. So click on the sketch fillet. I'm going to come down here, and we've wrote in our notes, this was called corner 1. This is this first corner right here. And notice as soon as I get close to it, it wants to round it off, just like it's supposed to for a fillet. We're going to click on that corner. And then for this one, we're not hitting enter or anything. We're not hitting tab. We're going to start typing in some numbers. But we're actually going to type in a kind of a little formula or an operation. We're going to type in 30 divided by, so it's that / that's a division symbol on the computer, and we're going to divide it by 2 because we want our radius to be half the size of our width, the width of our paperclip. So instead of doing the math, I know that's an easy one. 30 divided by 2 is 15, but later on we're going to be doing something like 22 divided by 2 and 26 divided by 1, or I'm sorry, 26.1 divided by 2, and those get a little bit harder. So we're going to let the computer do the math. 30 divided by 2. Now we're not hitting enter. We're going to come over here and click this second corner first because we want to apply the same exact thing to that one, and it ends up making both of them the same. Now I did see a little warning sign come up down here. Don't worry, that was just the perpendicular constraint saying, hey, you drew 90-degree angles, but then you just took them out, just so you know the constraint's going to have to go away. So these are those perpendicular constraints right here, and it's pretty much saying if you're going to do this fillet, those are going to go away. That's fine. Now we can hit return once we do those two. And again, I got that warning about some constraints or dimensions being removed. No problem at all. We are good to go. Going on forward, we have, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. We have to add a constraint. And the constraint we're going to add is a horizontal constraint, and it's right up here. It allows you to do horizontal or vertical with the same tool. So if you clicked on a line that's more horizontal, it's going to make it horizontal. If you click on a line that's more vertical, it's going to make it vertical. We're going to click on a vertical line, so it's going to make a vertical constraint, and we're going to click on the line that says 141. You can see it's right here, this outside line. We're going to click on it, and there is that constraint symbol showing me that that line now has a a vertical constraint on it. Again, vertical constraint. All right, I'm going to go down to the bottom because my next one's going to be this 26.1 area down here. We're going to really repeat the same directions. Turn on the sketch fillet. I'm going to click on this corner right here, which we called corner number 3. And I'm going to type in the measurement of that bottom, which is 26.1. And I'm going to divide that. So I'm going to do a / divided by 2. Then I'm going to come over here and click on corner 4. I get my little alert that I've gotten rid of a couple constraints. I'm going to hit return. I get that alert again. But that's exactly what we want. So we are good to continue. And notice, by the way, here's the division right here. So 26.1, divided by 2 is 13.05. It's showing me that radius right there. Okay. And I did not mean to do that, so I'm going to click undo. That was an accident. But right here it says 13. I meant to drag this. It says 13.5. Now, when you saw me do that, I'm going to do that again. So when you saw me do this, what that's telling me is I don't have enough constraints here. I could easily mess this thing up by dragging the wrong thing. And that's why we're putting those constraints in. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to add my next constraint, which is going to be a vertical constraint right here. So we're going to click on that one, and that is the 114 line. That is the 114 line. Again, I'm really just following my notes. So take a look at your notes, and that's, you're going to follow those step by step. So I believe that was step number 4. We're going to move on to step number 5. Step number 5, we do the sketch fillet. We're going to come up here to corner number 5, click. I'm going to type in that width, which is 22.2. I'm going to divide that by 2, and then I'm going to click corner number 6. I get my little message down there, no problem. Half of that is going to be 11.1, perfect. And now I'm going to hit return. I've got one more constraint to put in, this vertical constraint right here. So if I've said horizontal constraint, that's just because, when I hover over here, I see the word horizontal first, but really we're using vertical constraints. And the reason I know that is because of the way they're turned. So these are all going up and down, so they are vertical constraints. So if I said horizontal constraints, just ignore it. Know that I mean vertical constraint. So over here in this sketch area, I'm actually going to click in my browser. I'm going to click on the word sketch 1. And then I'm going to click again. But wait a second before you click again, because if you click too fast, it's going to double click it. And that's not what I want to do. So I click on it, wait a second, click again. And I'm actually going to type in path. We're going to call this path and hit return. Okay. So that's our first sketch. Again, we're just making a path. Let's take a look at this without the constraints and without the dimensions. Let's see what it looks like. And now it definitely looks a lot more like a paperclip. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish sketch. And when I do that, I'm going to follow the next step in my directions, and it says go to the front view. So I'm going to go ahead and click my home view. That's what it looks like there, and there's that front view right there. And this is what it should look like in your notes. Pretty much like this. I can zoom in a little bit. Here's my origin right here, and that's where I'm going to start. But I'm going to go ahead and make another sketch. But to do this sketch, it's going to be a circle. So we're just going to use the shortcut for the circle tool. So it's going to be a C. Now we're going to pick this plane right here. What plane is that? Let's see if we can find out here. If I hover over it, let's go to this folder. If I hover over, that is the XZ plane. That's exactly what we need. So let's click on that plane. That's why we actually did the front view, so we could easily see it. Now we're going to go to our origin. We're going to click, mouse to the right, type in 3, hit enter, and that's it. That's that whole step. We can actually finish the sketch. I've got my circle drawn. I've got the path for my paperclip drawn. I'm ready for the next step. The next step is to create a sweep of this path shape. So what I'm going to do is go to my home view. And you can go after you select sweep, but I chose to do it before. And I'm going to go to the sweep tool, which is right here under the create menu. And now this one might require you to zoom in a little bit. So I can see that one of my sketches is named path, but the other sketch, that's the circle, and I didn't name that one. Let's name that one. So let's just click down here. Oh, you can't name it because you're in an active tool. This is something I wanted you to notice. I did want you to name this, but I wanted you to realize that sometimes when you go to name something, it doesn't work because you have an active tool. So I'm going to cancel out this tool so it's not active anymore. And then I want to go over here and name this. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this the circle profile. Circle profile. And that is the second sketch that we've created. And notice that's really the only folders we have. We have an origin folder and a sketch folder under this component. That's going to change. And notice our path is not fully constrained, but our circle profile is because that's kind of easier. It's locked into the origin. It's an exact dimension. Our path is a little bit, like we got some crazy parts here. So not really that important though, because all we're going to do is use it for a path. All right, let's activate that sweep tool again. Click create, sweep. Now my profile. What do you think I'm going to select? Oh, my circle profile. Now you can't click it over here in the browser, but once you hover over it here, it will highlight in the browser. So there it is there. If you have to zoom in on it, you can. The problem is you're going to want to zoom back out when you're done selecting it because we want to be able to see the whole design after this for the actual path. So then I'm going to click over here and activate the path part of this tool in my dialog box. And now I'm going to go and start selecting the lines. And really you want to select all of the lines that we would call the vertical lines that we created. So this one, click this one, and that last one. So all the vertical lines. And you can see now that we've created a three-dimensional shape. The distance is just 1. You do not need to mess with that. Let me show you what that does. Let's say we put 0.25. So that means it's just going to go around a quarter. If I do 0.5, it's going to go around half. We want it to go all the way around, so that's why we put in a 1. Let's see what happens if we put in a 2. Nothing. You can't go around it twice. First of all, it's a spiral, so that wouldn't really work. So that's why this distance is just going to be set at 1. We're not going to do anything with the taper angle or the twist angle or the orientation. We do want to make sure it says new body. We don't have any body, so there's nothing to join. We don't have to cut anything, so we'll just leave it on new body, and we are good to hit enter or click OK, and you have a completed paperclip. Now, the only thing I'd like you to do with this one to turn this in is to actually, we're still going to do some different views, so I'll show that to you in the video, but we want to change the appearance because right now mine looks a little bit more like plastic. I think I have mine set to ABS plastic. Yours might be set to steel, but you know what? Let's make a gold paperclip. So go ahead and type in gold and let's search that out. And here we go, polished gold. We're going to drag that to it, and there you go. We have a nice golden paperclip that we're going to turn in. By the way, if yours isn't downloaded, you can always click the download button over here and it'll download it in case yours isn't part of your library. Click close. Let's just take a look at this, make sure it looks good. Yeah, it looks nice and even all the way around. Looks good. Let's go ahead and get this ready to turn in. I'm going to go ahead and change to multiple views, and I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see what views would be the best, because this is where you should start thinking, okay, what views would I need to see to grade this properly? So I think the top view would be good. The bottom view is going to be probably the same as the top view, so really not much difference there. Let's see what that looks like. You know, it looks a lot like the top view, so I think we're just going to leave it like that. Now here's the front view. I think that's a good one. That shows me that you have the paperclip starting right here, so that's a good view. And then this side view just shows me that there's nothing sticking up, so this is a right side view, and there's nothing sticking up that's weird, so that's a good one. And then I think the home view is good because the right and the left are going to be very similar. The front and the back are going to be very similar. I think this home view is good. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. All right, so we got the home, the top, the front, and the right views ready to turn in. Go ahead and screenshot this. That'll be Shift-Command-4 after you hover over your name. Make sure I can see the timeline, which is a super easy one. Take a look at the timeline. 2 sketches and a sweep. That's it. And that is all for this video. Make sure you turn this in to get full credit. Hope you enjoyed it, and keep drawing.